Yes, what happened last time? You guys obviously tried to break in. You broke into the carriage.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing fucking in there.
Changed the sign of the tavern to the dancing ladies.
Mm-hmm.
You tried to break into the bedroom and ended up in a large room instead. And you were just leaving the tavern and you got back into the car and were leaving the town. That's where you left off?
That's where we left off. And Torin was judging us harshly, if I remember correctly.
Big dad energy.
Torin was very much giving us a lot of dad side eye.
We did get asleep, or we didn't.
You did.
Oh, we did get asleep.
Yeah,
does that mean I can use the standing stone again?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
It's only 25 words once a day. How am I supposed to romance somebody in 25 words once a day?
How you doing?
How you doing?
Right, there we go. That's all you need.
All right. So you have left the tavern and are back in the cart in whatever configuration you'd like for the cart, and are making your way back out of Ravenscroft. I think that's what it's called.
Yes, that I have. Raven's Crow, right? No.
Ravens.
That's where we left.
Ravenscroft.
Ravenscroft.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was right.
Yep.
All right. So you guys have 4 days of travel left. It is up to you how fast we go through these next 4 days. If there's anything that you want to do, whether you want to pull any more pranks or try and get more information, it's up to you. I'll leave the pace of this in your hands. So is there anything that you wanted to do over the next 4 days?
See the map again, please.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We are we are going from here to here on the King's Road, which is the purple one.
Mm-hmm.
So we're boopity boop boop.
We're down in there. We're near the Flaming Isles.
So
yeah,
except we're not that close yet, are we?
So I'd say that you're about halfway through your journey.
Okay, so we're sort of. Would we be going by the base of whatever that big mountain is?
Yes, we'd be coming around the other side of it now. So that mountain was where you encountered the Goblin Cave with the Goblin Queens, the Queen Mother and the King.
Where we
coming up on the harbor, basically, or bay.
We're not here yet, though, are we?
Getting close to the bay, then.
No, we're coming around the mountain.
Coming around the mountain.
Yeah. When they come.
So, we're here. We're not to the water yet.
We're not there yet, but we're headed in that direction.
We're headed toward the water.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still don't know.
At the moment you've made that kind of first curve round, and your next kind of day's travel is the other curve going around before you
right,
and then you.
Well, I definitely want to message Pandora. I want to use my sending stone as we sit in the cart.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pull it out. It says we just learned how they work.
I'm gonna casually listen, but make it look like I'm not listening.
And I'm gonna swipe the runes on the stone and fire it up.
Yep.
Hey, sorry I talked so fast last night. We are on the road, headed towards Sarithia. 4 days left. Doing well. How are you?
Exactly.
Nice. It's like you've done this before or something. I mean, there wasn't even a do donuts or anything.
Donuts.
Pooping? Are you pooping?
Are you pooping? I'm never gonna ask that question. I will say that. Never gonna say, are you pooping? Of course, now that I've said I won't say it, I probably will.
Probably, yeah. So you get a response pretty much instantly. Things are going well at the shop. What did you mean yesterday when you said you found a tiefling baby? I know you can't respond till tomorrow, but explain?
Noted. That's right. I wasn't even sure that made it through. Noted. I'll have to explain that tomorrow. Tuck it back in my pocket. And be annoyed that I can't use it again today.
Okay.
Sending stones are a blessing and a curse, y'all.
Yeah. You'll need to find another method of communication as well. All right. Anything else that you guys want to do on this first day before you hit the place to rest?
Okay.
Well, that's going to be up to Trixie McCracken over here.
What now? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What?
Is there anything else you want to do in day one? Apart from traveling before you hit a place to rest for the evening?
No, I think I'm actually gonna just kind of reread parts of my books and things like that, just to kind of study more, honestly.
Cool. No problem. So for the day one of this 4-day leg, I guess you could call it, you pull into a small, like, kind of ramshackle town. It doesn't look like a farming town or anything like that. It looks like it's just been kind of left to the wilds almost. There's some very small, like, kind of hovels and things like that. There's like a little rundown wooden sign where you can barely read out what it says. So make a perception check for me to see if you can see what this town is called.
Hold on.
Everybody?
Yeah.
Everybody.
I actually read you towns.
So plus perception, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, right? 15 and 6?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be the only one of us that can read that sign. Because my ass rolled a 3.
All right.
You perceive yourself.
I barely perceive myself.
You see it's getting darker as you pull into this town. You've spent longer on the road this day than you did the previous day.
And I have dark vision, so that makes sense.
And you pull into the town and you see that just very faintly on the little, like, bit of wood on the arrow direction pointing towards town, it says Blarkton.
Blarkton with a B?
Yep. Blarkton. Blarkton.
Blark.
Sounds very Irish.
It sounds about like it looks, honestly.
It doesn't sound so good.
Like I said,
You
it sounds about like it looks.
You pull up next to a tavern called the Drunken Chicken.
The Drunken Chicken? We better have good food here.
Which, despite the way that this town looks, it is surprisingly well kept and relatively busy for this small of a town. You go inside and it looks very clean. But you can tell from the prices on, like, the kind of chalkboard above the bar that everything's pretty cheap. Not that you guys have to worry about that because everything's at the expense of the crown. But
I can get used to traveling like this, I gotta say.
It's not too bad, huh?
No, it doesn't suck.
So if there's anything you'd like to do in the evening, now that you have lodgings, anything you want to ask the royal party, if you want to try and break into some rooms again.
Does this have like a banquet room, or do we eat in the hall with everyone else?
So
Like, how's the security seem?
It's relatively small. It looks a little bit smaller than the previous tavern. So you're just shown to, like, a kind of quieter area that's been kind of blocked off with some screens towards the kind of back of the room.
Okay.
At some point, like, when everyone is, like, they're still eating, but, like, everyone's kind of engaged in conversation, I'm going to sneak away.
Okay.
Or excuse myself. Not even sneak away. I'm just going to excuse myself and say, I'm going to go. I'm feeling tired. It was a long day. I'm going to go to bed.
Okay. Stealth check needed then.
And then I'm going to use disguise self.
Okay.
Is there anyone, like, because it's an inn, is there any staff, like, Is there like a staff uniform or?
Not really. You see behind the bar, there's like a very stylish, like middle-aged elven male who's like kind of wearing like a high collar tunic. That's like a dark blue color, and there's like just like a human like bar wench, kind of in like a kind of typical like flowy dress sort of thing. There's no like kind of uniform.
Can
I? As River was, I want to rewind just a little bit. As River's excusing himself, I am gonna make meaningful eye contact and be like, "We good?"
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I want to try to look for a moment when the barkeep or whatever is not behind the bar. And I'm going to disguise myself as maybe, I don't know, one of the patrons or someone that like works there. I just want to steal some liquor.
Okay. Roll. First off, we'll say roll a stealth check to see if you can get away somewhere to be unnoticed as you're disguising yourself.
Okay.
Should we be worried about that?
I just let it go.
You're right. If I worry every time, I'm gonna drive myself.
26.
Yeah, you're good.
Thank you, Bria.
True. It's like it's okay.
Okay.
You're gonna have to
disguise myself, and I wait for an opportune moment for him to like kind of leave the bar or go somewhere.
Okay. Roll a sleight of hand check then for me, see if you can nab some. This is the funniest thing, seeing as River doesn't drink.
Wow.
25.
Jesus.
And I would like to grab what looks like the best.
What is going on with your algorithm?
It's great. Well, also, sleight of hand is +8 and stealth is +11, so...
Jeez.
It's hard to have shitty rolls on either of those.
Those aren't even my best rolls. Those aren't even my best rolls.
I'll need to like hack into your algorithm and set it for all nat ones or something.
I've rolled 2 15s and a 17.
Okay. You looking behind the bar. There is a couple shelves behind, and the higher up you look, the dustier the bottles seem to be.
I mean, they're better. I don't
means
know alcohol, so
it means that
Top shelf is up.
Top shelf.
okay.
That's the better stuff.
I would like to grab 2 of the top shelf liqueurs.
Okay, with that sleight of hand check, you're definitely able to grab them easily enough.
And I will take them up to our room and drop them off, and then drop disguise self, and then just come back and eat and be like, "Oh, sorry, I think I must have eaten something bad. I had to use the." Yep.
And here I thought you were tired and headed to bed.
No, I really just had to go to the bathroom.
I mean,
I
privacy. Just
see.
respect her privacy.
Nothing's happening here. We're all good.
Yeah, I'm sure. Nothing untoward.
Listen, I just said I excused myself for whatever reason. I didn't say, well, I was just excusing myself. I came back.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better and you're back to the table, River.
Yeah,
I
sometimes.
want to ask because you know this is because it matters to me. I want to ask how the baby's doing.
Okay.
Do they have the baby at the table, or have they like tucked her away somewhere?
Yeah, the baby is at the table. Like halfway through dinner, the baby like wakes up and just starts bawling.
Oh.
Mm.
Can I help with that?
If you'd like to.
I do like babies.
Probably just food
Sarah
itself.
Citrus is holding the baby, feeding the baby at dinner that evening. So the baby is passed off to you for you to finish the feed if you'd like to.
Yep. Hold the bottle.
Sounds adorable.
Get a good burp. It's very important.
Yes.
Okay.
And yes, I'm the only one around here who's been around babies. I get it.
Oh, I've had my share of turn around babies.
They're so
They're adorable.
cute.
They cry a lot. Not very quiet.
It's their only method of communication.
Well, they should work on that.
They will, strangely.
We can teach babies sign language. Just saying.
Yes, but this one is literally like 3 days old. I mean, work on it if you...
We can work on it, yeah.
I'm also imagining this giant dragon. This giant muscly dragonborn. Like, teaching more? More?
Gonna teach the kid this one. Cool.
Hey, now.
I love how we all know cuss words.
One of the first ones you learn.
Right?
Mine come from Marley Matlin. Thank you, Marley Matlin.
Right, there you go.
I'm going to say that given the fact that I've kind of been left to Jaeger, Leaf, and Mika, Leaf has decided that tonight's the night where I'm going to have a lot to drink. Drinks all the wine that's at the table. Goes up to the bar because it's cheap and just orders another couple of bottles.
I mean, that seems
Accurate.
seems on brand.
Yep. I love how Leaf just becomes more alcoholic whenever I have to eat it.
I mean, more? It feels pretty constant.
It's like Mika's either sleeping or out in the woods,
Mm.
and Leaf is just drunk. It works.
I mean, I don't want to do anything with their characters here, so
Right, like you don't.
Right?
well, I can give
Get
them.
it? You don't want to mess them up.
Nope.
Exactly.
Maybe they went on a little side quest and we don't even know.
Yeah, maybe.
That would be. They just took off, and then you
One
could do
shot
like
of Leaf and Mika.
a Leaf and Mika one shot would be hilarious, and I would actually watch it.
Who knows? Maybe.
Do you want to hold the baby?
No, not.
Oh, but what if I want to see you hold it?
I'm just a
What
little
if-
dirty right now, kind of.
How are you
messy from
dirty?
eating.
Come on, though. What if I want to see Big Daddy Dragonborn holding a
Oh,
tiny, tiny baby?
no.
I'm not making it weird. I just think it'd be
You
so
are
cute.
You have
No.
made it weird. It's weird.
You see that as they say that. I just, you know what? I gotta go. Good
It's not weird. I'm not trying to make it weird. It'd just be
Weird.
cute.
Too late.
Sure, you don't want to hold a baby.
I'm sure. Thank you.
I hopefully managed to put the baby, feed the baby, and get the baby back to sleep before I return the baby to Eamon. Because, it is their responsibility. I just am very invested.
While you're trying to get Torin to hold the baby, you just see the princess just off in the corner, like giggling into her drink.
Come on, princess. Don't you want to see the big bad dragonborn hold the tiny baby? Come on.
I mean, it will look pretty small.
Come
Come
on. All right, give me the baby. Oh my god, a little small baby.
See, look how cute that is.
Just one hand there. Just give me a little.
You football it.
Football it, baby.
Some babies love being footballed, though.
Yeah, cute little tyke.
Look at those little horns.
No, those horns are adorable.
I know.
You're like that size.
Like little nubbins.
Little tiny nub-nubs. Look at those little tiny nub-nubs.
See, I knew it. I knew it.
You're gonna grow up big and strong.
Big strong.
You know? I hate you.
You get back the baby. I'm just gonna ask the princess. See anything interesting on the road today? Or you catch sight of anything?
Well, nothing quite as interesting as finding the baby yesterday.
Well, I mean that's definitely a highlight.
And there's definitely been no more wyverns.
Also
Yeah.
a highlight because that sucked.
So what's happening in this town? What's the story of this little place? Anyone know? Are you familiar with this place, Princess, or?
We've never stopped here before. We've always just kind of rode on past.
So are you here to get to know the people? I mean, is that your goal in traveling abroad?
Or does that start after we go back to the city and then you start your official tour?
Yeah, we're technically started back in Sarithia, Elan's, but it was supposed to be a straight road through to Sarithia. So that we got used to kind of, or supposed to be that we got used to rough sleeping, I guess.
But wyverns and babies have sort of changed your your agenda.
Yeah.
I mean,
little small bits, yeah.
Things will do that.
So I'd like to call is there a staff here that seems to be, I'm looking around the room trying to see if there's somebody that local that might want to talk to us about the town a little bit, like what it's about.
Yeah, there's the elf that was behind the bar, the male elf, and there's the kind of bar wench women. They seem to be the only two people that are running backwards and forwards with drinks to and from with meals.
A little bit too busy. Well,
I mean, you could also just walk out and sit at somebody's table and start talking.
Yeah,
If you don't want to bug the waitstaff.
Yeah, this staff looks pretty busy. I was just wondering if maybe we can get someone to join us here at the table. Chat with us a little bit about the local history. I don't know. Is
there any old grizzly looking guy at the bar? Like that guy who just seems like they show up every night for drinks? Is there one of those guys at the bar?
I mean, what's up with the town? It's off the beaten track pretty much. It's kind of run down a little bit, but I mean the bar's kept up nicely. Active.
By the sitting in the at the corner of the bar on a bar stool, it doesn't seem as though it's the same as the other bar stools that are there. It seems to be more kind of custom, but it's kind of rough and ready looking. You see an old kind of prospector looking guy.
Yeah,
there he is.
That's the guy we want to talk to.
That's the guy right there.
Oi,
sir.
Would you like to come join us for a minute?
Come and join. Drinks on us. Come join.
You see him kind of startle awake a little bit. His head was near enough in his drink.
Come on, we'll buy you around. Come on, come over.
Kind of picks up his tankard, chugs it all down, slams it back, and just kind of waddles over.
Yes, make room. All right. Have a seat.
He kind of plumps down in the seat quite heavily, grabs one of the kind of tankards or glasses, I guess it would be, and just grabs a jug and pours wine into the jug. Takes a big, heavy drink again.
So how are you? How are you doing this evening? My name is Torin.
I'm Tix. Nice to meet you. Your name?
Barney.
Barney.
I love it. Yes. How are you doing this evening, Barney?
Same old.
Well, so what is the same old? We're cruising through, passing through, and I was just kind of wondering about, a little bit more about the town here. Like, where did it start? Why is it? Enlighten me.
Mostly do mining.
Mining town.
What do you mine?
Just some rocks for building.
Oh, like a granite quarry kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mining.
It was sandstone.
Sandstone, yeah, that kind of stuff.
Usually there's a quarry for that. Not so much.
Don't get technical.
Right. Oh. All right.
No need to be pedantic about mining.
No need for that. So, how long you lived here, Barney?
Fast. You see him kind of counting up, and you see as he lifts a hand up, he's missing his pinky.
I love him.
Nice.
73 years.
Oh,
He's an old geezer.
Nice. That's quite a chunk of time.
The longer that you spend around him as well, there's like just a bad smell coming off of him. Whether it's just like being unwashed or just
So this town probably doesn't have a bathhouse.
old spilled on him, or
is the memo I'm getting here.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, maybe they sand bath or something. Who knows?
When you guys are down there, you hear a message from River. Hey, by the way, do any guards seem to look like they smell real bad?
How does one look like they smell bad?
Or do they smell really bad? Does it look like he's like checking himself out a lot?
Right now, all I can smell is Barney.
Who's Barney?
Come down and find out.
Nah.
You can reply this in a minute.
Oh, Barney. Thank you for all the information. I mean, it's nice to know that we're in a little mining town for granite and sandstone. And, you've been here quite some time, and that's...
How long has this bar been here?
That's a good question. There we go. How long's the town been here?
the town 150, 180 years or so. Tavern, that's 50 or so.
Yeah, well established.
Yeah. How many people live in town?
Hmm?
How many people are in town? Permanent residents.
Really?
There used to be a lot more. Everybody moved away.
Sorry.
Once the gem mine closed.
Oh, there was a gem
mine. Oh, okay.
And now it's just rocks.
Now it's just rock. Because all the gemstones are gone.
Now that you look around the tavern a little bit more, you do see that a lot of the people who are in here are like kind of older. Many like young faces around.
Listen, I just want to know, does Barney have all his teeth?
He does, but they're kind of like yellowed and chipped a bit.
That's alright.
Why am I getting Hills Have Eyes vibes from this place?
You're just a bunch of retired, hard-working folk, that's all.
Who eat you in your sleep, it's fine.
You just don't trust anybody.
I mean,
Nope.
he's got reasons.
Well, thanks for coming over and chatting, Barney. Help yourself to another round on your way out.
Take a bottle of wine on your way.
There you go.
Much obliged. He just heads back over to the stool that he was at and heaves himself back up onto it.
I'm pretty sure that stool has his name on the back of it.
Right. And it's probably grooved just perfectly into his ass,
Right.
too.
Yeah, he's been sitting in that stool for the entire 50 years this bar has existed.
This town is kind of boring.
I mean, it's like 1,000 other towns.
No, I mean, sometimes there's like some kind of rich history or what have you. Maybe just asking the wrong questions.
Or the wrong person.
I'm the wrong person. I'm gonna walk over to the bar, up to the barkeep, and say, "Have you heard any good rumors lately?"
Don't ask him about his liquor.
Suddenly we're playing Skyrim.
Right?
Haven't we been all along?
I mean, kind of.
Old Dylan over there apparently caught the eye of another woman. That's about the most excitement
Whoa.
you'll see in this town.
Risque.
Relationship drama.
Oh, yeah.
Real Housewives of Blarkton.
Yes. Oh God. Oh shit! I'm just going back to the table. Just gonna have a seat there.
I think it's time to move on, y'all.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
feeling it for Blarkton.
Not feeling Blarkton. Anybody having a rat problem in their basement? We could go kill some rats for them.
I'm surprised River hasn't sought out a basement or cellar yet. Ting!
I mean, we could go. We could go upstairs and see what River's stolen.
Yeah, no, I don't even want to feel like getting into that.
I want to know.
I'm literally just in my room reading a book.
Oh, pretending like what you didn't steal something earlier.
You don't know that.
That's why I'm saying I want to go find out. Because I'm pretty sure.
I mean, are you just sitting there talking to her back and forth through messaging?
I'm
Sure.
not talking to her. I'm
Oh, okay.
hypothesizing
Oh.
based on my pretty fucking high passive insight that River was up to no good earlier.
Princess, this town seems to have nothing more to offer today, and I think I'm going to go up to the room and just relax.
I need to go
Meditate a little bit,
sharpen my sword.
you know.
And no, that's not a metaphor. Stop it! I heard you laugh from upstairs. It's not a euphemism.
We're talking about polishing your sword.
Sharpening it. Nobody wants a sharp sword.
No one wants a sharp. Polishing your sword is different.
Than sharpening it. Anyway, let's go upstairs.
Yeah, it sounds good.
If you need anything,
Good
obviously,
night, all.
give us a shout, pound on the door, send up the alarm.
We'll send the guard along when it's time to leave.
Okay. Yeah. So, do we know what rooms are ours?
No.
How many rooms are there in this one? This one seems like it probably doesn't have very many.
There's like 4 rooms in this place. So like 2 and 2.
I'll knock on River's door.
Who is it?
Guess.
Hello.
I don't know who that is. I'm sorry, I can't let you in.
I open the door.
I'm just literally practicing magic. Like, doo-doo, looking at the book, trying this out.
So what trouble did you try to get yourself into earlier?
Well, I mean, there's 2 bottles sitting over there. I don't know.
They're hidden.
Oh, crap.
I put them away. They're in my stuff.
They're in my stuff.
I did ask a question.
What? I'm sorry, I missed it.
What trouble did you try to get yourself into earlier?
Something like explode. Like, oh, sorry. What? Trouble? Nothing. I told you. My stomach. Oh, awful.
Come on, you know that come on. I'm just curious. I'm not mad. I just want to know.
I know, but I didn't do anything.
You're so full of shit.
Am I?
Insight check.
Go for it. Do either persuasion or deception, River.
And I'm doing insight. 21.
14.
River's full of bullshit.
River is full of bullshit.
Listen,
I'm not even mad. I'm just curious.
I'm mad. Maybe it's a present for people, and I don't want to tell what it is.
That's fair. That's fair. I
People-
just was mostly wanting to verify that you went off to do something a little bit shady. Because
People buy presents. Where'd you buy a present, River?
Oh, stop it.
Listen, I bought it. I can't tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so give away the present. Sometimes, like, if you say where you bought it, like, if you're like, I went to the blacksmith, then you kind of know what you know.
I don't think this town has a blacksmith.
No, I was using it as an example.
Who's Barney?
I'm gonna head over to the other room and go.
Barney? Was that it? Wait, who's Barney?
Oh, we were just trying to find out a little more about this town. There was this old guy who is permanently attached to one of the bar stools, and so we tried to ask him a couple questions.
Nice enough guy, but
Nice enough guy, but not a lot of information. Apparently, this was a mining town.
I would have possibly been through this town before, correct?
Roll a history check.
History? 19.
Yeah, you kind of recognize it.
Like, I would have been on a cart or something and probably just gone through when I was hiding, but... Right?
No.
Possibly?
No, so you were up the other end of the country.
Oh, I went the other way. That's right.
Yeah. You vaguely remember it from when you were making your way up there originally.
Originally, before I was hiding.
Yeah.
It's like, I know I went this way. Yeah, so, like, I went through it quickly. Yeah, there's not a lot in this town. I could have told you that.
Yeah, but it never hurts to ask.
Mm-mm.
They don't even have teeth in this town. Like... I once asked somebody because I was trying to figure out, like, if there was anything worth stealing. And I was like, so, got any high price, like, anything in here? And the guy was just like, no, we have rocks. And I was like, what the fuck is that? I mean, seriously, homie.
It sounded like there used to be a gem mine, but then it dried up.
Yeah. It's a long time.
Now they just mine rock.
Yeah, I just mine rocks.
Who does that? Like 5-year-olds in the backyard. Look at, I found a rock.
I mean, people do need rocks for building.
That's true. But usually it's a certain kind of stone, like limestone or white stone.
And that usually comes out of a quarry, not a mine, but that also feels a little pedantic to me.
Yeah.
Truly.
I think these people maybe when the gemstone place closed, maybe they got sad and smoked too much something. I don't know.
Or maybe the best did not
Are
stay.
you saying that this is a skooma town?
Could be. Ooh, should we try to score drugs?
Dude.
I don't know what they feel, but I think they just drink a lot.
Maybe. I mean, they definitely don't brush their teeth for sure.
Hmm.
Or maybe the water's bad. Did you guys drink the water?
Well, no.
Just wine.
But I mean, typically, mining can really mess with the water.
Yeah, maybe the water's bad. Don't drink the water.
Maybe they don't bathe a lot because there's a water shortage. They use a lot of water in mining.
Oh, did Barney smell?
A little bit.
Yeah, a lot.
So why do you keep asking if one of the guards looks like they stink?
Because I put a stinky stone in his stuff.
Oh,
Well,
maybe that's why Barney smells?
No, I don't know Barney.
No, you wouldn't think he's a guard.
No. I gotta think probably. I mean, my
that's
guess
right.
is.
Oh, the princess guard.
My guess is that they put their bags in like a container, and now everyone thinks their bags stink like ass. But I don't think they're
really entertaining.
So that box, wherever that box is, I'm sure it stinks like ass. But I'm guessing they don't carry all their shit on them.
Well, it was definitely it's supposed to smell.
Or maybe
like
they do. I don't know.
How many days do we have left of this trip?
We have 4 more. Well, this
feels like a really
3
long
more after.
trip.
3 more when we leave in the morning.
Because I mean, this has gotten me to the point where I'm literally studying.
Yeah, if my knife gets any sharper, I'm not gonna. If my sword gets any sharper, I'm literally not gonna be able to like touch it.
I mean, just a couple days
My
ago.
sword is so clean and sharpened, like I can't polish my armor one more time.
Well, evidently, we all need more hobbies.
I mean, thinking about picking up an instrument. I'm not really musically inclined.
Doesn't matter.
Well,
I
my
knew
father
somebody
used to
that
play.
played the bagpipes horribly.
My father played a ukulele. He liked to write limericks and things.
I'd join you in that venture. That sounds fun.
Yeah. I tried to play. I just broke the strings.
Well, you do the best you can.
Yeah.
The good news is his strings are cheap.
Yeah, maybe in the next time we can see if we can find some instruments of some sort.
I thought I had
a band.
Oh, I'm kind of liking that idea,
Name our band the Pussy Bandits.
Oh, there we go.
That's a good band name. That's a great band name.
It is. I thought I had like some stupid.
And then our first album we put out can be Snatch It.
Oh my God, yes!
All right.
Oh man.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, that's good.
It just came to me. It was awesome.
Oh, that's a good one. All right.
You can be responsible for all of the pyrotechnics on stage.
All right. Hey, I don't mind that. Yeah.
You can just stand by third.
Maybe we should go to bed and move on to tomorrow. I don't know.
I feel like
we could go for a walk and like we could just go for a walk and like see if there's anything interesting in this town.
There's nothing here. I've been through here.
I don't know.
I'm telling you.
What if there's like a curse on this town and if we look around we could lift it?
How about we just go to bed and hope for a Wyveriner to show up tomorrow? Or an assassin. Ooh.
I don't think this town is even like the slightest.
I am bored. I am so bored. I don't think I'm gonna be able to sleep.
This town may have ghosts.
I was not built for fucking guard duty. I am like.
Well, I think it's just best if we just all take a deep breath.
You want to teach me how to meditate? I think I need to.
Listen, after talking about wanting something to happen because I believe in luck, I'm going to put up my alarm spell before I go to bed.
Okay.
Just in case.
You take some time and you set that up. You turn around after you've done all that, and you see that Mika is just curled up asleep, and Olivia is just peering in the window, watching everyone.
Do we need to let Olivia in the window?
What?
Like, do we let Olivia's at the window? Do we need to let her in?
Oh, I can go let her in.
I've already gone up to bed.
I'm allowed to open doors and things of my own alarm spell.
Oh man!
Kind of just hops in and down onto like a small table that's sitting.
And by the way, my alarm spell is only gonna go off in my head. I don't want it out loud.
Okay.
Just in case.
You're not gonna teach me how to meditate. You're just gonna go to bed.
Oh, if you want to come meditate with
I
me.
feed Olivia some of the like.
I mean, if I don't do that, I'm liable to just go walking about the streets alone.
My
It seems like a terrible idea.
Well, lay down.
I'm not. I don't want to go to sleep. I'm gonna meditate.
Right, you can meditate laying down. It's very comfortable.
I'll fall asleep.
Oh,
Don't be a dick, Dad.
And I just go pass out. I make sure I close the window.
Okay. So you guys kind of split off into the two different rooms. Leaf at some point stumbles in and manages to somehow find Torin's bed and just like curls up next to Torin.
What else?
you got us.
Alright.
You got a buddy.
So you're now on your next day after another long rest. Guard comes in, wakes you all up pretty early.
Oh, thank
You
God.
all know that breakfast will be soon and you'll be leaving soon after.
So I'm gonna, as we get up, I'm gonna whip out my sending stone.
Yeah.
Whip out.
Wipe my thumb across the runes.
Yep.
You swipe left or right?
Left, right, baby.
Pick my spells for
And I'm going to say, yeah, found an abandoned tiefling baby on the side of the road. Apparently now the baby is going to become part of the royal family. We feel pretty good about that. That was not 25 words.
It was.
Damn it.
You wait maybe about a minute or so and then a response comes back. That's good to hear. At least the baby will be well taken care of if they're in the royal family. That's good news. And that's it. That's about 25 words.
Yep. I just stare at it in frustration. Once a day? And I put it back in my pocket.
You know, I'll be able to make those, and then we could have like 3 or 4, and then you could use them multiple times.
That would be lovely.
Actually, maybe I could look into making it so that there's a way that it works more than once a day. Can I borrow those? Legit. I'm not.
No, I mean, you only have half the set. I don't know if that'll work. It's only because the other set's back with.
I just want to look at it and study it. for the day while we're in the cart. You can watch me.
No, it's fine. I trust you.
Okay. Can I roll like our Arcana to see how it works and understand the magic of it all?
Yeah, we'll say that it will like take you the whole day to kind of do this activity, but roll an Arcana check to see if your tutelage has gotten you that far.
That's a 13. I thought that was a 1, but I think it's a 7. Yep, it's a 7. I was like, oh shit.
That's lucky.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, if you break my setting stone, I'm gonna.
Well, I'm not gonna like do anything to it. I'm literally just kind of like studying the ruins and like more that it's gonna take me a day or so.
Yeah. So with your knowledge from just seeing Tex use it, as well as going backwards and forwards with your book, you do learn that is being imbued with the sending spell, and that's why there's like the sort of once a day and 25 words limit on it. It's just a short message. You're muted.
If being as I use message myself, and that's a spell that I use, would there be a way that if I studied it over a long period of time that maybe I could figure out a way to make a set that either has more capability out throughout the day or something like that? Obviously not right away, but...
Yeah. We can keep it in mind that as you like kind of gain more experience, that part of your studying you can choose like if you want that to be like a focus. We'll do like a couple more Arcana checks down the line to see if you can figure it out.
My family's just very loud. Okay, sorry.
I think you can tell by the way you were looking up. You're just waiting for people to shut up.
Yeah. All right.
So you said I can just have it over time in what? Sorry, they were really loud up here.
Over time, we can kind of like if you want to make that a focus for if it's something that you want to like work on and get towards, to see if it's something that you can create something that would give a little bit more oomph.
Okay. So I spend the day just looking at that and going through my book.
Cool.
I found something to do.
Leaf will just be like sitting in the back, drawing and sketching in a sketchbook. Mika will go between like feeding Olivia little bits of treats and like kind of trying to like train Olivia. So I'm just gonna roll like an animal handling check to see.
Can I like, because I feel like Olivia and I have bonded a little, just a little. Can I like lend a hand, help her with the training here and there?
Not while you're doing your research. Let me see, where's Mika? So it'll be like a kind of like return, like kind of command. So like go away to like just return. Like come, I guess. Come return. I don't know. Right, where's animal handling? Yeah, that's not very successful.
Why are you like this?
What are you doing?
It's the washi tape.
It's the return of the rainbow washi.
I thought you were eating those forehead things.
Yeah.
And now there's no hat to put the tape on, so apparently it's the face.
That's not traumatizing.
That's not weird at all.
Don't. It's not. Mm-mm.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Stop. No. Just right here across the forehead, like a headband.
On the glasses, wrap around the glasses.
Oh Lord, you're just wasting all my rainbow washi tape.
Oh my god, it looks rad.
Oh Lord. So should I perhaps, I don't know, roll a perception check to see if there's anything of danger on the road?
Sure, yeah. Roll a perception check.
Yeah, there's nothing on the road. I rolled an 8. Well, I rolled a 3, so it's 8.
It's because you got to roll with the Bria's dice.
I rolled this, and I rolled Quiddy, and it failed me.
Oh, no. That's right. I'm still waiting for a nat 20 on this so I can take a picture.
You know this goes up on the internet, right, Beeb?
I know this is right here.
Dude, you should, like, put it around your glasses.
I tried, but I didn't think it'd show so much.
Aw.
But this headband's pretty rad.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
Suddenly 1985.
Playing physical.
This is some exercise.
Let's get physical. Let me hear your body talk.
Let me hear your body talk. Your body talk. Let me hear your body talk.
Why is this more chaotic with less people?
You got to make up for the silence.
It's true.
Okay. Anything else you?
Ooh. What's that about?
I don't know what it is. I found it in my stuff.
Anything else you would like to partake in during this day before you reach?
Since I didn't see shit on the road.
You didn't even see the horse poo?
That's about all I saw.
Cow patties.
Was horse ass.
Listen, the horse in front of us has got some swag.
This is not text asking, because I've forgotten. Do you have a tail?
No.
You are a tail.
No tail.
Okay.
I had a tail.
Oh. Sorry, didn't mean to bring that up.
Yeah. Wow. Triggering you.
Ooh. It's okay. It's okay. I've been thinking for a year that River was a black cat because they dress in black. So forgot that they're
definitely orange.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
I looked back at the fan art. I was like, what? I looked back at the fan art and I was like, it's just because you dress in black. I had just
I don't even dress in black. I dress in dark purples.
be pedantic about it, why don't you?
You just feel like, should
So-
I gotta roll to see if Leaf's gonna ask us.
Oh boy.
It's fine, Leaf's not gonna ask.
Okay. I mean, I think I get. I don't remember these things because, like, I think it comes from the fact that, like, I don't look at physical form as permanent, so.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Everything's
Well, next week I can wear my purple cape and just.
I mean,
And-
honestly, I mean,
and
physical
you-
form is fluid. I mean, nothing is really
It's
truly
true.
solid.
I mean,
We're all made of molecules, and nobody knows why those molecules don't just go through each other when we touch them.
I mean, and then
I'm
there's
trying to study.
molecules
You
like
guys are not
floating.
helping my brain.
Molecules are like floating around my body,
This is-
interacting with their molecules.
I'm just saying.
And the molecules of
How
this
things
table,
in the toilet. That's solid.
you know.
Gross.
Just put it across the.
I just.
That's right. I'm a
Yes,
nearly
this is
50-year-old
without
child.
alcohol.
Did you get into River's? Did you get into Leaf's stash? Did you go out and find drugs last night? Did the town have drugs after all? Was it a den of depravity?
So, you know, there's a fine line between spiritualism and insanity.
Oh, you missed a good night. You just hear Leaf type up.
You made me go night night, and then you just like you went out and found all the.
You shouldn't have.
What is happening?
All right, can we say this day is past?
Yep. So you make your way into the next town.
Here's where the DM's like, I gotta rein this shit in.
You see that this one actually has like gates going into
Ooh.
it, like big doors going into it.
Hey, this looks like an actual town, y'all.
Oh, thank God.
Like maybe we can like I
Thank
don't know.
God's,
Go shopping. I don't even want to go shopping. I just want to do something that's not sitting in this goddamn cart.
Yeah, my ass is going numb.
Seriously. Like I'm a fairly patient person.
Oh
but
shit! How's Apple doing?
how
Listen,
is
I've been
Apple?
watering Apple.
How is Apple? Is Apple like got little?
No, Leaf has been taking care of Apple.
Is there a little sprout coming up out of? Apple doing okay?
Apple, right?
Apple's fine.
Leaf, how's Apple?
I'm gonna roll see how Apple is.
I still think we should have named it Fiona.
Yes, but
Maybe the middle name is Fiona. Apple /
yeah, but see, we're old, and the youngins didn't get the joke. So.
Ooh. 2 minutes. We got a guest.
Hey!
Hello.
Hi!
How's everyone?
Good. You tried to train out Olivia. It didn't go well.
Oh no. Poor little thing.
I got bored and a little creative with washi tape.
Somehow we've managed to make this episode more chaotic with fewer people.
Yeah.
Wow. Well done.
We're not sure how.
He's gotten so bad that River's literally studying.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
We've just pulled up to the gates of a town to stop for the evening. So just
Amazing. Also,
We can put a
I will
good
need to
note.
leave just before 8 because I've got my Acon interview at 8.
That's
No
fine.
worries.
That's fine. We'll see if there's anything fun to be found in this town, and then
Amazing.
Last
Make
town
fun.
was so bogus, they actually mined for rock.
right.
I might just rob somebody just so they chase us.
Seriously, traveling is not our strong suit. Putting it out there. Guard duty is not our strong suit. It's boring.
Oh no.
Yeah, traveling with a royal caravan. Let's not accept that everything gets paid for. Let's try not. to.
Mhm.
Right? It's pretty. Ugh.
All right.
Anyway,
So we jump out, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm not really hungry right now. Do you guys want to go like explore first?
yes, please.
Let's go."
Let's stretch our legs.
And I just find the first person I can find and go, "Is there anywhere I could buy like a musical instrument?"
Oh, we're also starting a band.
We determined we needed more hobbies. We're gonna use the term pussy
The
bandit.
Pussy Bandits is the band name, and our first album is.
I don't remember. I said on the fly. Wait,
Snatch
snatch it.
Snatch it.
Of course it is. What else would it be?
Great.
And now you are entirely caught up on what you missed.
Very much, yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Anyway, yeah.
Snatch it.
So in response to the question about musical instruments, I mean, you could try woodies.
Woodies.
Woodies?
Sounds like our kind of shop.
I mean, does it really though?
Yeah, it really does.
All right. Let's go.
Let's
Wait, where is it, sir, ma'am, person, individual?
You go up here, continue on for 3 blocks, turn left for 2 blocks, and then go up another one. It's just right on the left.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Also, what's the best tavern in town? Like the most jumpin', jivin'. I said jivin'.
You did.
That would be Prancing Lion Inn.
Prancing
Prancy
Lion.
Lion. Yes.
Oh,
We are getting
yeah.
drinks at the Prancy Lion tonight.
And one more question, sorry. Is there anywhere we could get like some potions or anything cool, anything unusual or different?
Sparkly, shiny.
Fun.
For potions, there's a little herbalist shop, I think.
Okay.
Kind of in the outskirts. It's very small though.
Is there any oddities, like an oddity shop?
Antique store. You can find weird shit at antique stores.
I
dude.
love antique stores, you know.
Castles Curios.
Ooh, yeah, we're going there.
Castles Curios?
Yep.
Castles
As
Curios.
in like Oreos, but like
Curios. Curios is it's like curiosities.
all right. Listen, I was just trying to
Sweet.
sell something.
Okay, so that was 3 blocks. Hang a left, 1 more block, and it's
I got this.
It was a right, left
Yep.
kind of
It
situation.
was a right, and then it
take
was
a right
on
for 2, then it's on the left for 1 block.
right. So it was okay. Cool. We got this.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
All right. Heading up there, you see like a kind of well-kept wooden storefront. It's like painted blue.
Cool.
It's like cursive writing on the front that says Woody's Instruments. You go inside. There's like a little ding of like a little tiny doorbell.
You know there was going to be a dinging on the door.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that there's like a older human male who comes out. He's like dressed in like a shirt with like a little jacket. He's got like a little tiny like bow tie situation going on.
Oh.
Hair's all slicked back. How can I help you today?
First, you look fabulous. Second, we're totally starting a band.
But none of us know how to play.
None of
Well,
us
I
know
don't know how to play anything.
None of us know how to play instruments. What should we start with?
My dad used to play a banjo, so I kind of know a banjo is, or a ukulele, or something small.
Okay.
We need portable instruments because we travel.
Okay. So portable, we have like some kind of flutes going on. We've got some.
Not really good with blowing things.
I'm versatile, so I might be able to handle that.
Or something I can do with my fingers, a string instrument.
We do have like kind of like violas. We've got 1 ukulele. Yeah, we've got 1 ukulele.
What's it look like? Where is it? How much is it? Can I have it?
He goes over to one of the walls, and on one of the racks he just pulls down like a little leather like kind of case. It's kind of shaped like a ukulele, and opens up the little metal clasps on it, and inside you see is a light wood, like almost like kind of beach style wood, a well-made ukulele. This would be, I don't have prices for instruments.
In real life, they're only like $40, $50 for cheap ones.
But like, here, let's look up like a lute. I can look up a lute, how much it'll cost.
This one here would run about 35 gold.
Nice.
We do have
magical instruments.
Do you have like a jaw harp?
A who?
Harmonica? Or do you mean one of those little
Let me have a look.
Yeah.
We don't get requests for that one all too often.
I feel like we could make one of those.
And he goes like behind the counter and kind of looks down, pulls a box out, and just kind of looks through this box. It looks kind of dusty on top. Pulls it out and kind of shows you it. Is this what you were thinking? And it's pretty much what you're describing.
That's exactly what I was looking for. Yes.
Guys, should I get bagpipes?
You can do this one for 5 gold.
Okay.
5 gold. How about 4?
Sure.
All right.
And I'll take the ukulele. You said 35?
Well, 35, yeah.
And I'll get a. Should I get a regular flute or a pan flute? Pan flute?
Pan flute.
Yeah.
Do you have a pan flute?
Yeah, we've got a couple. Pulls some out that are like varying sizes. So there's like a really quick, like large one, This one has like got a couple different layers to it.
Oh, that seems more advanced than I'm ready for. Is there a smaller one?
Yeah, you see one that's like kind of like that long. It's got like 8 like
It's gonna be so funny.
in it.
Awesome. How much?
Let me see.
Whoa.
This one would be 14 gold.
Done.
Okay, Gladsley hands over. And what about you? Looking down at you, Mika.
Do you have any tambourines?
Gotta have percussionist.
Yeah, kind of heads over to like is a relatively like large drum section with like big massive drums that are like right the way around and you like kind of carry. You know the ones.
Oh yeah.
And then he's just got like a couple like little tambourines on a stand. One of them has like a black tan leather. The others are white.
Perfect. How much is the black one, please?
This one would be 2 seconds. That one would be 6 gold.
Perfect. Can I have that one, please?
Certainly can. I'll ring this one up as well.
Thank you.
What about you? Who looks over at Leaf?
I feel like Leaf would either be a drummer or a bassist.
Dumping makes a lot of noise, I feel like.
Right?
Maybe not.
Or get something really obnoxious
Oh,
like
no,
a
a kazoo.
like a shawl or
One
a
should
kazoo or
just-
something.
Text Abby and ask her what.
If Leaf was gonna play an instrument in a band, what instrument would it be?
Watch them say jaw harp.
Also,
I was gonna say jaw
as
harp,
we're
but
standing there, I am definitely trying to attempt to play music.
Roll a performance check.
It's gonna be so
and
bad.
I am also definitely trying to do that as well.
It's gonna be so bad. Oh no, okay. I got a 17. Plus 1. I got a 16 plus 1.
Performance? Let's see. Here.
Woo!
Oh, I seem to remember a little bit of what my dad taught me.
A little bit. You managed to pick out like a few chords.
Hey, I
Your
got,
placement's a bit off, so some of them are kind of muted.
I got a 10, which is average. It's not horrible.
Yeah.
You make noise.
I make noise that doesn't sound like I fucked it
It
up.
doesn't make the dogs go. "Oh."
I rolled a 22.
Wow.
Nice.
You played the jaw harp before having.
Maybe a time or two.
Listen, 17 is not bad.
No,
No?
not at all. We're gonna be an awesome band, you guys.
Do like a group roll to see how we sound together.
Oh my god. We should wait for Leaf.
Yeah, 100%. When we have everyone
Did
around.
anybody message Abby?
Oh, I did not. I don't have my phone. I was gonna get my. I don't know.
Let me see.
I still feel like a kazoo is probably. Who knows?
That would have been
I
excellent.
know, I was thinking a kazoo.
Let's take bets. What do we think the musical instrument will be that Leaf will choose?
The best is soon. I am actually buying a ukulele, so
What's your guess? What will
Like
Leaf
I said, I feel like percussion or bass would be very Leaf.
what? I'm thinking
or something odd, like one
I
of
don't
those
know if we're gonna-
didgeridoo. A didgeridoo.
I don't know if we'll get a response though because Abby is busy just
It's
now.
busy, but it's fine. We can also wait till Abby's back and then we can practice in the cart later.
I just like guesses.
It's gonna be great. We're gonna be such a good band.
I totally think it's going to be a kazoo.
We'll just leave it
with that one.
to be decided. Leaf gets
Yeah, we'll
something. He doesn't know
TBD.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see
TBD.
that Leaf gets an instrument. TBD.
Woody, thank you very much. You have greatly improved our next couple of days.
And there's
You
spirits.
spend a lot of time polishing your instruments.
No more than any other musician does.
I'm just
Oh,
looking.
hey,
Do I have to do anything else with this? Like, do I like? My dad really never let me touch his because I broke it once. Should I buy extra strings? Do I need to like?
That's probably wise.
So I'll buy a couple extra strings.
Okay.
I mean, I have some, but I use them for other things.
We'll say that for like 2 packs of strings, it's like 2 gold.
Okay, cool.
You might want something to help you tune.
Tune?
Yeah, a tuning instrument. Maybe get a tuning fork.
There's a pitch pipe.
A pitch pipe. There we go.
Perfect.
You're gonna need that to tune your instrument.
Okay. Okay.
So, Woody, what instrument do you play?
Woody?
Mostly just play like clarinet, woodwinds.
The pitch pipe just comes with the whole thing, right? Because it's like a pack. Right? That's just an extra.
No.
I mean, we just spent a lot of money. And we'll definitely send people back here. We love it here.
Roll a persuasion check.
Okie-dokie. Hold on. Let me remove the 2.
Persuasion.
Persuasion.
So much persuasion.
Seriously, you need to play a bard.
How much was that? Okay, 15. We don't sell starter packs here. But the pitch pipe's just 1 silver piece.
All right, that's fine.
Hands over a pitch pipe as well.
Over. Remove.
You gotta make sure that you're on pitch, yeah? That's helpful.
Okay.
Helpful. Gotta have a tuned instrument. Don't want to play off key. Have your E's sound like B's.
Unless we're a punk band, and then that's the whole point.
No, it still has some SB.
2 pack of strings.
I disagree.
All right.
Okay.
Where are you guys heading next, if anywhere? We'll try and we'll just try and do these ones quickly for sake of expediency.
Let's go to the Castle
I
Curious.
want to see if there's any. I want to see if there's anything else on this street that looks cool.
Nothing. So roll an investigation check.
My investigation is kind of balls. Yeah, that's a 7. There's nothing interesting on this street. Let's go.
Well, I mean, that would have been really cool if there was like some like kiosk of some sort.
Yeah,
it was like dark and like boarded up mostly, except for peepholes.
I will look as well.
Okay.
My perception is good. My
DC will be higher for that.
Trash.
You're rolling as well.
Trash.
Yeah, 16.
I mean, you don't see like anything out on the street per se, but looking up in the hill, you see there's like some old ruins.
Maybe later.
Do you want to look at that? Or do we want to go to?
No, let's go check it
Let's
out.
just do our shopping first, and then like.
Okay. Cool.
No,
All right. Castle Curios it is.
Head over there.
Yep.
Walk in, and there's like an old, gnarled, like looking female gnome just kind of running about.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Hello there.
We're just looking. We're only spending a day in town, and we're just trying to find some cool shit. Honestly, we've been a little locked up, and we're trying to find things to keep us entertained on a long trip. Do you have anything that might pique our interest?
Oh, let's have a little look here.
All right.
Let's see.
Now, does this place have shelves, like out, and there's stuff on shelves, or is it?
Yeah, everything looks jam-packed and everything's like stacked right the way up to the ceiling.
Is there anyone else in the store?
Like a life's collection.
It's like a hoarder's delight.
Yeah, very much.
Awesome.
Is there anyone else in the store? Is it just us and her?
It just looks like it's her. There's no one else in here. Let's see.
Weird question, but does it look like there's a section that looks like it might have sort of like religious iconography at all?
Roll an investigation check.
Oh, investigation. Why? The pain of my existence.
Oh.
Oh, that's not too bad. 18.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to see like kind of scattered around some of the shelves near the kind of front corner. That there's like a couple of like books over there that seem to be religion based.
Okay. Well, I was looking more for like some sort of like little like charm or necklace that I could like attach to my belt is kind of what I'm looking for.
I see. I'm gonna roll. Okay. Well, kind of digging through that area, you knock a book off one of the shelves, and kind of opens up, and there's like a little ribbon with a little charm on it.
Yeah. How much is this?
2 silver.
Perfect. I toss a whole gold piece up and just say keep the change.
Okay.
Do anything arcane or magical or even books would be good? Anything?
If you're looking for books, there's
Looking for odd books though, like not like things that you wouldn't be able to find in normal bookstores.
She goes over, kind of pulls some books out and just like kind of throws them over her head.
Ooh.
Kind of like getting rid of them. Well, there's this one. Kind of pulls out like a large, like kind of really dusty looking tome. She blows on the front of it.
Oh, thank you.
It looks like it's like probably like 200 years old or something. It's like being dragged out of like somebody's house.
May I look at it?
Sure. Kind of like passes over and is like having to like heave it with the weight of it.
Ooh,
small frame.
Not very strong. It's very heavy. Oh, put it on the counter. Can I flip through it and what does it look like?
So on the front of it is the mystical and the forbidden.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's a find.
That sounds like that was made
So
for
as
me.
I look, like I'll just flip a couple pages. Like, are they spells or stories or?
They look as though it's like kind of like some ramblings in regards to different uses for spells. And like some musings on new spell ideas, but there's nothing to confirm if they work or not.
How much for this book?
She kind of like looks over, kind of like just holds a page up and like kind of looks at like the page itself, but like looking at it side on, almost like to look at the quality of the page. 15 gold.
I'm going to keep browsing, but could you leave it here? Because I definitely think I'm interested.
Sure.
And if you want, you can definitely go help my friends.
That was so subtle.
Roll.
If I was a shopkeeper, I'd be like, out. They're all too nice to you.
Roll a persuasion check.
Is there anywhere in here that looks like it might in this part of paradise?
That's an 8.
Been searching all my life, shopping in a store.
She'll leave here with it. Kind of like places her hand over the top of the book.
Sure. I'm just going to go this way and then just hold on to it though, because I might purchase it. I'm going to keep looking. and I just walk away out of eyesight, and I definitely look for something I can steal.
Is there anything? Is there any section that looks like it might have a horde of like weapons, armor, shiny things of that nature?
Yeah, there looks like there's a couple of like busted up like shields, like a dainty helmet.
It's
Hoarder's paradise.
In terms of like shiny like metal, there's like a couple of like metal platters that are just kind of hidden around the place.
I just walk over and I say, I have detect magic prepared. I can see if there's anything that sings.
Yeah, just give a quick look, see around, see if there's
So I'm going to cast detect magic.
Okay. You cast detect magic, and there are a couple little dings on your radar. You look over, and like some of them appear to be like some like really old looking like swords, some books. You see there's like a little pouch off to the side as well, like a little brown pouch that seems to be giving off like a magical signature.
Did you say swords?
So I point out the swords to you,
and I go,
and I go over to the pouch.
Okay. So
Now
over,
steal the pouch.
you're going to do what with the pouch? Sorry.
Steal it.
Okay.
Pocket.
Roll a
Secure
hand check.
What did you say?
It's like a hand check to steal the pouch.
Sleight of hand? I can do that. Oh, it's not as good as I wanted. Doesn't that look like a 15? That's a 13. I thought it landed on 15, but it landed on 5.
Let me see. Okay. You look over towards her, and you see she's like just kind of trying to peer over the shelves to see where you are. But the shelf that you're behind is pretty tall. So you managed to snatch it.
Boom!
So I'm looking at the swords. Which sword? Which one?
I point out the one that was glowing.
What does it look like?
It looks like it's like it looks like it's been almost rusted over.
But it's magic. Magic items don't rust.
I said almost.
Almost, unless they come that way.
Unless they're disguising themselves. There's nothing important.
True.
When I cast detect magic, I'm able to see what kind of magic it is, correct?
Like what school?
I
Hold
think
on.
so, yeah.
Listen, I don't want to give you something that's cursed.
Yeah, I don't want a cursed item.
Consideration is a small creature.
Well, if you're bored, that's one way to spice
I mean, that is one way to spice things
magic.
up.
I learned the school of magic.
Okay. I'm just trying to see.
You guys
On this one here, you see there's
Trying to drown out the screaming puppy that has been put in his kennel.
Oh, I was gonna pull out my jaw harp and do music for you.
Ooh.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think what this one would be. Oh,
And you start dancing.
That's how you-
okay.
This is how you're going to make the next rave in a bar happen, huh? That's what's
Yeah.
happening tonight.
I try to join in with the ukulele. Ready? Performance. Oh, it's gonna be so bad.
You see, there's like this one that's got a
That's a 6. So you just hear there.
ding with a twang string.
Yeah. Oh, never mind. Put it away.
You see that there's like on this sword you get conjuration sense.
Mm.
Conjuration. So I It's conjuration. I don't know. Yeah.
No, that could be cool. I was mostly worried if it was necromancy.
Yes, that's not it.
Cool. So I'm just gonna take the sword out of its stack of swords, and I'm gonna find our little gnomish friend. I'm so sorry. I didn't ask your name when we came in. That was very rude. What? I'm Tix. What is your name?
Drizel.
Oh, hello.
Drizel.
I love it. I could use another sword sharpening project, and this one looks a little like it could use some love and TLC. How much for the sword?
This one kind of goes over, looks at it, goes behind the counter and pulls up like a ledger. This one would be 1,000 gold.
Look at it, though. It's like rusty.
Roll a persuasion check.
Are you? This is going to be the good one today because you've been.
Wait. I tap you.
Guidance. Come on, be good to me, Quiddy. You're usually my go-to.
Sword or dagger or a knife.
Oh, that's only one, but that's okay. Persuasion is 21.
Woo! Give it. It's cheap. Give it.
Lowest I can go would be 950.
Oh,
$9.50.
$50. Oh, 50 gold.
$9.50.
I think you could at least go down to 8.
Right.
What if I buy the book?
What if I play a song for you? What if you pay River? What if you take it down if River doesn't play a song for you?
I mean, I can play if you want right now, and I just start playing.
Can we get a discount for her to stop?
It's a 12. A little better, but still off too.
Yeah.
It's like when Ellie only had 2 fingers.
Boing, boing,
Oh, man.
Oh man!
What a reference.
What a deep cut. Oh, man.
I mean, okay. Either roll a persuasion check with advantage or roll separately, but the DC will be higher.
You should do it with advantage for sure.
Okay.
Guidance.
Who's gonna be my
Champion.
Who's gonna be my number 2 here?
And I'm guidancing you again.
I know. I'm rolling the advantage roll first. I'm gonna be, if I do have to buy this and it's for like 800, y'all, I'm gonna be broke. I just want you to know that. Oh. Guidance me. Guidance me. Yeah, no, this time I only got an 18. So.
Okay.
With advantage and guidance, I only got an 18, and I have a +5. That blows.
Yeah. Like I said, 950 is the lowest I can go.
Well, I mean,
Listen, why don't you put it back? We'll come back later and see if it's a thing. Because I'm not sure if I really want the book either. So,
yeah.
Mika, do you want anything? Is there anything you're interested in?
No. All right. And I go put it back.
Nah.
Like, kind of leave.
All right.
Oh Lord.
And as they're like saying goodbyes, I'm gonna stealthily hide somewhere in this goddamn store.
All right. Roll a stealth check.
Fucking shit.
One of these days, River's gonna get arrested in the town.
Yep. And we will have to bust her out of jail.
Here's hoping. Okay.
I mean, it's probably gonna be cheaper than the item. I'm just going
Yeah.
outside.
That is a natural 20.
Woo!
So 31. Woo!
Yeah, you find that there's like
Wow.
a wall of stuff in the corner, but it doesn't go all the way into the corner. And you've just managed to kind of sneakily make your way behind that pile.
Is there, as we walk out of the store, is there like, are there any food vendors or anything nearby?
I use message and I send a message. Keep them distracted for a couple of minutes.
Oh, the gnome?
Yep.
We can do that.
Leaf goes distraction.
You can go out.
Okay.
If you don't feel good about this.
No, I don't.
Listen.
Kind of
Yeah.
makes her way kind of like behind the store area. And just like starts like rattling on the door, trying to open the back door.
At that moment, I will try to steal said sword.
100%. What Leaf
Okay.
would do in that scenario.
Mhm.
Roll. I'm
With
not going
advantage?
to do. I'm going not going to do sleight of hand. I'm just going to make it like a general dex to swipe it quickly and get out.
With advantage?
Yeah, I'll say the least helping with the distraction.
Okay, so just a dex.
Yeah,
Is
just
that
a
a
general
dex?
dex.
Saving.
In other words, your sleight of hand is too high.
Oh, it's more so just you're not like trying to snatch.
So am I
it
doing my plus
because
5
she's not
then
there.
for my dex? Just
Yeah.
a regular.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because she's not in the room, so you're just trying to grab it quickly and make
Alright,
your way
so-
out before she makes her way back. So it's more so
Yeah.
just how quick you can grab it
Okay,
rather
so
than
add a plus
if you
5.
can do it sneakily from under her nose.
So, with advantage, that's a
Mhm.
19 plus 5.
Okay.
Like,
Dang.
My low row was 11.
As soon as you see her, kind of, and you hear the back door, see her move away into like another room, you quickly like jump and somersault over the pile, grab the sword, and are you going for the book as well?
No, I don't need it.
So you quickly grab the sword and run out of the store.
And I just appear behind you guys. Let's go. We should go. Let's go.
let's go. Street meat. I want some street meat.
So
As long as it's nowhere near the store, that'd be great.
ruins.
Head back to the ruins that we saw down that alleyway?
Yeah, let's go to the ruins.
Yeah, let's do that.
There were ruins in an alleyway.
No,
Well, you-
we saw through an alleyway. Like,
Wait,
Ah.
Yeah, you saw like up into a hill and there was like ruins on the hill.
once we're fartherness away, I just pull out the sword and say, "Happy birthday!"
I have mixed but very positive feelings about this. Thank you so much.
90% of the time, I would say 80% of the time, I steal because we need it. I wouldn't have taken it if I didn't think we need it. If it's going to help us in our journeys, that's why I'm taking it.
And I support it.
The other
'cause
10, 20% is because I'm bored.
Yeah.
But this was
Reverse
because I
that.
think
Strike that and reverse it.
no, I don't think that's true.
I usually put it back if I don't need it.
That's true. I've seen River do that a lot. I'm Team River on this one, not just because I just got a new
Right,
sword.
because we don't actually need that. I mean, a need
Yeah,
is
but
like
what if
we're
this-
starving. A need
What if
is
this?
What
one
if
of us
it saved
is
someone's
deadly,
This
deadly
could
on
save
the
someone's
verge
life.
of
What
dying.
if this?
Those are needs. That is not a need.
What if this saves
That's
your
a
life
want.
one day? What if this?
So here's
saves
the
your life
deal.
one day?
Here's the deal.
What if
Here's the deal.
sport
Wait.
that meat saves your life one day? You can apply
But
that
that's
to
a lot
anything.
less
It's just
likely.
rhetoric.
Then a
Right,
magic
we're an
sword.
adventuring
No,
group.
I don't agree with this.
Do you have
We're in an adventuring group. Our lives are literally in danger
all the time?
all the
You
time.
know,
It's
and
just
also
what
I
we
had
do.
thought about just buying it for you because I I'm flush. You could have just asked.
I will go back and I will buy the book eventually.
How much was the book, River?
35 gold.
35 gold.
I give you 35 gold. Go buy the book.
I don't want the book. I don't need the book.
And I'm going to give you 5 more gold to tip them.
Okay.
5 gold's gonna make
I'll
it.
go back in.
I don't know.
and buy the book.
It absolves a portion of my karma knowing.
I buy the book, and then I give them. Wait, where'd that go? I don't know even know what that was. Oh, I also leave on the counter, but so they can't see. I also leave 3 platinum.
Okay.
All right.
If I'd had the money, I just would have bought it. I didn't think River was gonna steal it.
And then
You know, you can always ask if I can help.
And I give back.
I thought about it, but then it seemed like River had a plan, and I just let them go with it.
And I give
Of
back.
course, River evidently just has buckets of platinum.
I spend my own 35, and I give you back the 35.
Oh.
Okay.
Hey River, I know that you saw that this was magic. Do you have any tricks up your sleeve that let you know what it does?
I think I can
Before
identify, but I'd have to sleep first.
We can wait till morning.
I mean, it probably has some kind of built-in device so they can tell when it's been stolen.
I mean, if
Are
that
you,
was the
are you
case,
gonna be on this for like weeks?
No, I mean, it hasn't even been like a couple minutes yet.
Or are you gonna? I just want to know like how many times I have to save your life with the sword before you stop making me feel guilty about it.
This isn't directed at you.
listen, I will send all business. I will mention them. I will give them as much business as possible.
For reals, though.
I've said my piece about it. I'm just gonna let it go.
You love.
I don't take out the pouch because I don't want them to know I stole it.
Okay. Well, we'll go on a wee break here since we've been going for almost 2 hours.
Wait, I gotta find my.
So heading up to the ruins. It's like maybe a 15-minute walk out of town up a hill.
What is this name of this town?
Hold on. I just got this text.
Open. Let's be open. Someone you know invites you to have conversations on open.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Don't do it.
Like that.
Don't do that.
No, I'm not gonna.
What's the name of the town, Dan?
You never asked or had to look around.
Mm-mm.
You don't
No,
know.
we just went. We went ham.
We went ham. The name of the town is Don't Go to the Ruins, fucker.
No, the name of the town is Ham It Up.
We do know that the tavern's called Drunken Chicken. Apparently, we only cared about the
No.
tavern. And
Nope,
The
that was
Drunken
last
Chicken
one.
was in the last town.
was it in the last town?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, in this town, we went to Castle's Curios and Woody's Instruments, and we're going to the.
And we have no idea what the town is.
This is
We're
the
going-
lion. We're going to
We're
the
going to the
Lion.
Tipsy Lion or something at the
Yeah.
end of the
The
song.
Prancing Lion. The Prancing Lion Inn.
Prancing Lion.
Prancing Lion, right?
But we don't know what the name of the town is.
Let's go to the ruins.
Okay. So going up.
It's Haunted Ruins Township is the name of the town.
So as you head up to the ruins, it is getting darker.
Yes. Even better.
You head up and there's just like a kind of like wooden sign stuck into the grass. It just says Ivywood Castle.
So
What
what?
is it?
Ivy what?
Ivywood Castle.
Ivikmund.
Oh, it's a castle?
Ivywood Castle.
Ivywood Castle.
The ruins is a castle? Or
Yep, the ruins is the castle.
is there a castle?
Not this silly ruins, so you just see like kind of like low like outlines of where walls used to be.
Well, I only have one spell slot left, so I'm not gonna cast Detect Magic.
Well, let's take a look around and see if there's
Like,
anything
tour
that looks
guide.
funky, out of place.
Roll investigation.
Not perception. I'm just looking around. I'm not rifling through. Perception.
Sure. I'm feeling generous.
Oh, thanks, because that means that's 22.
I got a 26.
Yeah, you don't see like there's anything like kind of out of sorts or anything like that. It just looks like an old ruined castle.
Why is nothing fun?
I mean, is there like a? Oh,
Is it guarded, or are we allowed to just go in?
It's just like kind of open to the air. It's just that
Yeah,
there's
let's go in. I'm going in. Bye.
Well, there's not an inn. It's
Well,
just like old
all
pieces
around
of
it,
walls
right?
and
like
like.
just walking through. You know, you can kind
I'm
of tell
wondering,
where
like,
a door used to be, a
You
wall.
know the half buildings in The Last of Us? Picturing like that. You're just gonna go wander around.
I'm thinking there must be like a door that like maybe opens to underground. You know, because there's always like cellar, dungeon, something below the castle, right?
That would probably be an investigation.
Yeah, I didn't look for that. I was like, shit.
if you want to look for that, roll an investigation.
My investigation is not great, but I'm gonna roll for it. Oh, fuck that! It's 5.
Yeah, you don't find anything. You
Yeah,
trip over a root.
I rolled a 19.
Okay.
You see there's kind of like some divots in the hill where it looks like there might have been stairs going down, but everything's like kind of all filled in.
I wonder how old this castle is.
In the mystery town. Who knows?
Yeah, we sort of just jumped out of the cart and ran because boredom,
We're too excited to see real civilization.
like an actual town.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is very
Is this
cool.
castle? So you said there were gates when we got to the town. Like, is the town surrounded by wall?
There's like is some of it going kind of at the main entrance. There's a wall that kind of goes round and wraps around a little bit. Then it kind of starts to like taper off.
Gotcha.
They're like, fortify. We're tired now.
Let's
At
go to
least-
the prancing lion. It's
Yeah,
gotta
let's
be
do the
fun.
prancing lion. I want you to play that mouth harp so we can dance.
You head off to the Prancing Lion Inn. You see that their royal party is there, as there are some guards that seem to be on the lookout for you.
Oh, hey guys.
Hello.
Found your way here, I see.
Yeah, we just really needed to stretch our legs, man. Too much time in a cart.
That makes sense. Guess you're not kind of used to these long trips with
Yeah.
nothing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But listen, look, watch. Ready? Pull out my instrument.
Pull out my pan flute.
All right, I get out there.
Get out the mouth harp.
Tambourine's out for Mika. Leaf has
I roll a 13.
I roll a 14.
17.
okay. It sounds.
Or mediocre.
Let me roll for Leaf. Mika. 11. Okay. Let me roll for Leaf. Or whatever Leaf has. 11. Both of them are 11s. I mean, it doesn't sound the most uniform sound, but you managed to get it together and like kind of form some kind of a tune.
We think of it as interpretive jazz, freeform.
Melt. It's
Yeah.
very complex, actually.
Jazz is chaos.
It's true.
Organized chaos.
Freeform jazz is just chaos.
Acid jazz is melty.
As we're playing, I kind of put down the case and open it in case somebody wants to like leave us
Awesome.
anything.
Toss us. Flip us a coin.
3
So,
copper thrown in.
What?
You get 3 copper thrown in your case as you're playing.
Woo!
Woo! We're gonna be a great band.
So yeah, so
We're official. We've made money.
we're in such a hurry to get off the cart and get in here. What is the name of the town we're in?
We're in Lower Ivywood.
Lower what?
Lower Ivywood.
Lower Ivywood.
Oh, that would make sense with Ivywood Castle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how's the inn in here? Is it hopping?
It's busy. It's not quite standing room only, but there are very few chairs that are available.
Is there a dance floor? Is there a stage? Performance area?
Yeah, there's a stage. It's kind of tucked into one corner. It's kind of like a triangular stage.
So
I'll have one of them.
how are your guards? Are you guys getting along lovely? Are you having a nice trip as well? There have been any problems?
Did we miss anything?
No, it's been a pretty quiet day on the road, thankfully. Don't want any more mishaps like you lot all had on the way here.
Say what now?
No more wyverns would be great.
Actually, I wouldn't mind one.
Right, I know. Is the prisoner giving you any trouble?
Well, thankfully she burned away her tongue, so she doesn't speak very much.
Oof.
Oh.
Wait, she burned away her tongue, or you burned her tongue?
She did.
She did, because remember, she tried to kill herself rather than give them information. Burning out her own tongue doesn't surprise me. She's nuts.
You should find someone that can like read her mind or something.
We need to wait till we're in the capital for that.
I'm sure they've got those kind of folk
She's
on retainer.
she needs to calm down. She's just a little excessive.
Drama.
She really probably didn't have a good childhood.
That's appropriate. That's an appropriate response for someone who burns their own tongue. She needs to calm down.
You need to just
You
settle.
need to-
Just
you need to
settle.
just
Fucking chill, all right? I bet she threw a lot of tantrums. She was that kid that like made her body go stiff in stores, you know?
Right on the floor, in the aisle.
I bet she was just very quiet and secretly destroyed things.
That's probably true too. Yeah.
That girl with the burning house meme.
Yeah.
All right, let's go inside.
Yeah.
kind of like leads you into like the back room. It's been kind of claimed for the evening by the royal party.
Hey guys!
Yo!
How's it going?
Pretty much the same. Dinner.
Yeah, there's been a lot of pretty much the same.
That's pretty much what all these tours are.
Yeah.
You have to do this for like a year?
It usually takes about a year, yeah.
What do you guys do for fun to like loosen up?
Yeah, like how do you break that up, man? I don't envy you that at all.
So it's just making a presence. You don't actually interact with the public?
Sometimes in the larger towns and cities, there's like balls and banquets and schmoozing and.
Yeah,
What
but
about just the
wouldn't that
common-
be just with more rich people?
Yeah, like do you
what
ever
about the
talk to like
commoners?
like
Barney?
like Bernie from the last, like do you ever like
I thought his name was Barney.
Barney, sorry. Like do you like but for real, like do you guys ever like actually talk to the people who matter? I mean not that rich people don't matter.
Matter.
It depends on the town, really.
I'm gonna start paying for my own drinks.
Inside check.
You roll for an insight check.
I want to know if they're just snotty McSnottersons.
For royalty, of course they are.
Inside.
In the world
Inside.
is a life.
Plus 3. Oh, Lord.
Like, this is a different royal family than
That's an 11.
I mean, you do get the idea that, yeah, it does just depend on where it is they are as to like how much freedom they have in the way of their schedules and.
Listen,
but like
I really think you need to make time for the regular people.
but like because like for instance this inn is a lovely inn. There's all kinds of people bustling about, and I understand security, believe me, I understand security issues, but you have like a full phalanx of guards and you're sitting back here closed off. Like, isn't the point of like touring the kingdom to get to know people when you could literally be out in the
Even just to see how people are doing within the kingdom. Like,
right?
how are you doing? How are your crops? How
Yeah,
How do you like
clearly
this
the
town?
last
How do you
town we were
like
in needed a dental plan.
I mean, that last town needed a lot of things. They literally mine rocks. I mean, like, just send
sooner or later
them,
it's gonna be a sinkhole. We know it.
like, send them a civil engineer or something. Like, I don't know. Like, literally, come on. How about I take personal responsibility for the princess. We go sit at a table and actually interact with humanity instead of
there's no
sitting in the back.
Well, I mean, we could, invite people to come into the back, so we're not like in the thick of it. Into the thick of it.
Maybe don't take personal responsibility because if something happens. Like,
With all the guards present, we don't need personal responsibility.
yeah.
It's safer if we're back here. She's safer back here. And we just invite maybe a person at a time to come in and just chit chat,
Yeah, and ask them what they need and what's going on with life.
right?
I'm just gonna go like poke my head out into the bar and go, who here would like a personal audience with the princess?
Maybe we should clear that first.
No, fuck it.
They might get like filleted before they make it through the door.
I'm asking who, like, show of hands, who here would like a 5-minute personal audience with the princess?
$10 a piece.
Not
River.
charging.
We're not charging.
To speak to your personal representative of the kingdom.
That defeats the whole purpose. How many people raise their hands? Anybody interested? Any takers?
There's like 2 people that raise their hands.
Excellent. You,
Awesome.
sir.
You, come here. What's your name?
First, we need to pat you down.
What's your name?
Giles?
You started laughing before the name came out. How am I supposed to hear the name? I'm sorry. What
Giles,
was that?
Giles.
Giles. Nice to meet you.
let me
Torin
pat him
here?
down. Let me pat him
Torin.
down.
Torin and River are just gonna we just want to make sure there's no weapons.
That perception, what is that? Sleight of hand?
Sure.
I would say investigation. It seems
It's
like by
looking for traps, so it'd be just perception, right? Or wisdom, I mean.
Investigation.
investigation. Like you're looking for shit. That's the very definition of investigation.
What's in?
It couldn't be more investigative, honestly.
Oh, I got her. Okay, let's see. Well, that fucking sucked. I don't find shit. I
Cool.
rolled 1.
Come on, Giles.
Comes out to a 7.
Come on, Giles.
Okay. He goes
We're
in
gonna
with
sit
you.
on either side. We take Giles back.
Mhm.
Torin and I sit on either side of Giles across the table from the princess.
Mm-hmm.
And we go,
How you doing, Giles? What's on your mind?
what's on your mind?
He just kind of like sits down and just like kind of stares at her with a dreamy look. He's like kind of like 17-year-old teenage
Aw,
boy.
Smitten, that's so cute. Anyway,
Giles.
Giles,
Hey.
snap out of it, buddy.
You get 1 question, or we're chucking you out.
You
Yeah.
see him like he's like kind of like on his trousers. He's like kind of like rubbing his hands on the trousers
Where?
like he would have sweaty pants.
He's nervous. Watch your hands, Giles. Hand check. Put your hands on the table, buddy. You don't need any of that nonsense.
So, what's your question for the princess? She's here.
I grab a shot glass from like the table that's probably there, and I just set it in front of him. Here, take this person and ask a question.
He like kind of grabs it, downs it real quick.
There's no drinking age here.
Okay. Liquid
I'm
courage.
I'm good.
Okay, Giles.
Giles,
Have a good day,
you
son.
go to friends, Giles.
Don't
What?
judge. River.
Just we don't.
Nothing. She just, thinks
I
you're
just
lovely.
want to make sure
lovely
there's someone to
person.
watch you after having alcohol. That's all.
He's a young boy in a tavern.
And also, River's also socially awkward. Don't worry about it.
I'm sorry.
It's true.
All right, well, now you've seen her, now carry on.
Carry on. All right. Let's go get the next one. Who
All
raised
right.
their hand? Who's next?
You see, there's just like a kind of cloaked figure that's just kind of standing outside, like a middle-aged genasi.
We will ask that you remove the cloak.
Also, do you have a question prepared?
I do.
What's your question?
Nope.
That's fine.
Nope,
No,
nope,
that's fine.
nope.
We'll let the question be the question. We don't need to field it.
Sure.
Hat down, and maybe
Roll an investigation check.
who's going to roll that investigation check this time?
Not me.
Oh.
19.
Yeah, Woody.
So you do a pat down of him, and you find that there's 3 daggers. It's just like kind of strapped to the leg.
Sir.
We're just
Bring those in
Hold
here.
on to these until you get
You'll
back.
get them back as soon as you're done with your meeting with Princess. We will give you these back.
Okay.
Take the
The
daggers.
cloak was already like down at this point after you asked,
Perfect.
and he walks in.
Oh, and your name,
Devin.
Devin. Perfect.
I don't trust people named Devin. I'm gonna sit close.
It's okay. River doesn't trust anyone.
Yeah, it's all right.
Again, Torin and I sit on either side of Devin.
I'm right behind.
Devin, ask your question.
Quickly or slowly?
That's a creepy
I'm
question.
going to grab Devin by the arm and pull him a little closer and go, what kind of question is that?
Definitely should have fielded that question.
You asked if I had a question.
Well, you got to give some context, sir.
Devin, why don't we head on out? I don't like this. We're done with the questions. This isn't working out.
Roll an acrobatics check.
Who?
Oh, shit.
Me?
No.
I guess-
Torin.
No, sadly, Torin.
Fucking fuck. 9.
No. He
6
slips out of your grasp.
Can I attempt? I'm on the other side. Can I?
Go roll and see if you can.
Am I rolling athletics, acrobatics? What am I rolling?
Are you trying to grapple?
Yeah.
Roll on athletics.
Damn it. I have
Sweet.
plus-
Also, at this exact moment, I cast Sanctuary on the princess.
Okay.
Oh fuck.
What is it that does again?
Hold on. It does. You ward a creature with the range against attack. Until the spell ends, any creature who targets the warded creature with an attack or harmful spell must first make a wisdom saving throw, or on a failed save, the creature must choose a new target or lose the attack or spell. The spell doesn't protect the warded creature from area effects such as explosions or fireball.
Okay.
And I only rolled an 11, which is sad. Real sad.
Alright, so what was the DC on that check?
On Sanctuary?
Yep.
Your spell DC?
Wisdom 14 for attack or save. And this is just to save, like, to protect her, so.
I don't have stats to this person, so I'm just going to roll this +1. I don't have stats. He fails it, so he grabs his cloak pin.
So he's not, he can't, on a failed save, the creature must choose a new target or lose the attack or spell.
Yeah. So he grabs the cloak pin and goes to throw it, but quickly turns and throws it towards Sarah with citrus instead.
Still better than the princess.
Still better than the princess.
Yeah. I had a feeling
Let's
this was
see
gonna
if
go really.
Sarah Emeth manages to avoid it. Oh yeah, they avoid it. So Emeth sees it coming and darts to the side, and you see that the pin itself is like a very tiny, thin, like dagger-looking thing. It just like gets caught in the wood behind, and then the guards come up behind you all and just like grab this person by the arms, one on each arm, and like kind of hoists them and drags them away.
All right, so now I completely understand why you don't talk with the commoners.
We were prepared.
Especially not when we are on the brink of war.
Point proven.
I still feel like there's got to be a way to be more in touch with the... Because...
I mean, what if people just write in there letters to your congressman?
Can you is detect magic a cantrip for you, or is it a spell?
It's a spell, and I've used both my spell slots.
Because I still have the 3 daggers from that guy in my hand.
Oh, nice. Score.
Sure.
Well, tomorrow when I do identify, you can put them in the circle to identify.
Yeah, we'll identify them tomorrow. I'll just strap them to my thigh for now.
So once we sleep, I will do new things. I'll get rid of.
And I'm gonna go pull the little pin one out of the
Go.
Out of the wall too.
Although technically, if you want, I could actually do detect magic as a ritual.
We're gonna identify everything in the morning.
Well,
so...
yeah, but like, why if they're not magical, you don't want to
true.
identify it.
So I pulled the little stick pin one out of the wall, and then I have the other 3 daggers.
That doesn't do.
And you can only identify one thing at a time.
Careful, it could be poison.
The range is approximately 30 feet. That's matched in the way you can use the action to see if the aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic.
Okay.
Oh, cool. So it wouldn't matter how many.
You mean identify? I don't know. I don't have identify up yet, but let me. I can do once we get up to the room. I can tonight do identify on those things or detect magic.
Magic sounds great. I'm just gonna keep them. I'm just strapping them all to my thigh.
And I think I can do identify tomorrow as a ritual as well. So then I don't use a spell slot.
Yeah, perfect.
I bet that's poisoned.
My apologies, Sir Eamon. I feel
responsible for that
responsible
business.
for that business.
Irresponsible of me.
You see River that's a little
So
hyper.
were the learning points, I guess.
I just feel like, I mean,
your guards could have very well stepped in and said, "No, this is a bad idea."
I'm not gonna get into like a semantic argument about whose fault it was. I mean, it was my idea. I can accept that.
And in the long run, I saved the princess. I did save the princess.
You did. I just wish there was a way for you. I feel like there's got to be a way for you guys to be more in touch with.
There is. We have. Let me get the name.
God damn.
I do actually have shit. Because of course.
And I lean over and whisper, maybe we need to be a little more patient and let them talk next time. Maybe. Look, live and learn.
Live and learn. There are small
They
kids.
got involved. I got all wrapped up in the chaos.
Because we've been so bored. We're just looking for anything.
I know.
Boredom shouldn't be a thing. It shouldn't exist. You should be able to be content being within yourself, within your own space.
How's that going for you?
Like I said, I got swept up in the chaos.
How do you get rid of boredom? My brain gets so tired of things.
Well, you can take your brain and imagine being many different places, doing many different things. Also for you, because you need to use your hands quite a bit, I think it's an awesome thing that we decided to play instruments. Practice.
Anyway, Sir Aemon, sorry.
Our maesters are in charge of their own tours, where they themselves will also go out with their emissaries and look at all these towns, see what is needed in terms of money required by them for infrastructure, for upgrades.
Who decides on who gets that money and upgrades exactly? Because clearly the town behind us needs some assistance.
They have had some assistance. Their gem mine completely folded because there's no more resources in that town.
So what exactly? Because clearly their water's no good, and they're mining rocks. Does somebody buy those rocks?
They are providing with the small amount of age and able work people. They are providing sandstone for the building of a new infrastructure at the main castle in Sarithia.
Okay.
Alright.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
We almost got the princess killed while you were gone.
Yep, but we stopped it.
How?
See,
What did you do?
You gotta
Carmen
leave
said
with
she
these
needed to
crap
get in touch with the
assassinations.
commoners, right? You think that would have stopped us right there? And so we just asked people in the crowd if there was anyone that would like to talk with her.
And a couple people wanted to, and one was a horny teenager who just has a crush on her, and then the other one tried to stab her with a cloak pin. So
I mean, we patted them down first.
It was
thought
easy. We protected it. It's
yeah, I mean, it nothing happened. The wall has a tiny hole in it now, but that's it.
A tiny hole.
Literally from the little dagger that he threw at her.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was
Okay.
it was just like a little a pin for the cloak, and we think it may be poison.
I don't know. I got it strapped to my thigh. We're going to identify it all in the morning.
But listen,
Anyway.
next time we tell the story, you lead with "We stopped an assassination."
We stopped an
Okay.
assassination.
Yes, please do.
A second assassination, I might add.
And we don't have to tell why it was started in the first place.
Right.
But we have saved the princess's life twice, technically now.
And only
Well-
once was our fault.
Only once was our fault. Yeah.
Right.
So that's what you missed.
Oh dear.
Good morning, Nika. Welcome.
I determined that we need to focus more on meditation and
Mindfulness.
the inner still, mindfulness, also keeping our hands busy by practicing things, and then maybe we'll get involved in less chaos.
Anyway, I need a drink after all that. So
Well, let's go. Let's bring the drink upstairs because I would like to detect magic on those things, or to see if they're poisoned.
yeah, I think that's good. How about I'm gonna grab the closest bottle of alcohol that we have on the table, as we seem to have every night, and I'm just gonna bring it up with us.
Everybody have any
Night,
alcohol?
be safe. Don't trust strangers.
Be safe. Don't talk to strangers. Stranger danger. Stranger danger.
Bye.
We're gonna go upstairs.
Okay.
Apologies.
I still think the guards should have stopped us from doing the whole thing.
Yeah,
Clearly, those guards are a little like they don't even know they smell bad. Like they're not very smart.
I don't think they actually smell bad. I think
somebody does somewhere. I put it in someone's backpack.
Yeah, but they don't seem to have their backpacks with them at the inn, so we're never gonna. They take them off, put them in the room.
No, during the day they would definitely have them on them. That's where their shit
Well,
is.
yeah, but we only see that. We don't like.
Right, but you think someone would be like, "Yeah, Joe really smells. Do you think we should tell him he should shower?" Like there should be. Like it smells like ass and manure.
Anyway, can we
Maybe
ritually
that-
tell us your magic? And I untie where I've strapped all the daggers to my
wait
thigh.
a minute. We were having an explanation coming about who was actually responsible for finding out. We need to recap on that. Who actually reports what they need in towns? Okay, so the last town actually they got some assistance because
And they're currently supporting some infrastructure projects with their sandstone.
right.
So we're being. I think also maybe we need to be.
Was there more story behind that? I forgot.
No, that was pretty much it with that town.
Okay.
Is they receive financial assistance and were given contracts.
Also, maybe
I didn't want you to research fictitious information and then not be able to spill it out. So,
maybe we need to be less judgy about towns.
well, I had a concern because if you're mining rocks, if you're going underground and removing rock, you're gonna sink at some point. It's gonna collapse.
Listen, I don't trust anything. Like, I feel like there's a lot of inequality in ways things are dealt with.
No, I 100% agree with you. Why do you think I was the one who insisted on dragging strangers in to talk to the princess? To have one guy try to, like...
I mean,
You're
it's
really
so
helper.
dangerous to be
Helper
traveling
listening.
around and your only point is just to show face. What's the point?
Also, like, I don't think we helped our cause at all with that one. Why couldn't we pick two good people? Next time, I don't know.
I think we did not think...
I wanted to field the questions, and you guys said,
I know.
"Don't question the question."
Agreed. 100%.
100% agreed that you... I think the lesson here, and don't quote me on this later, River, because I'll deny it, but I think the lesson here is that maybe we need to listen to Torin just a little bit more.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to cast or do a
No.
ritual detect magic because
I've
everyone's
been, I really like this idea of you and I teaming up more, but I think the level of chaos is a little high. Just gonna let this sit there.
So you head off and you cast Identify. Oh, sorry, Detect
No,
Magic.
detect magic. I'll identify in the morning. I don't have that prepared.
And I took all the daggers off of my thigh,
I'm
and
just
they're
trying
on.
to see if the daggers are
The
magical.
3 daggers and the little cloak pin are sitting on the.
Okay.
How you doing, Mika?
Let's find out what.
Doing all right?
Doing great.
No. How's Olivia? Are you doing any training with her?
She didn't seem to enjoy it too much last time. We might give her a little break.
Yeah, it's understandable. Maybe she just would rather be a free bird,
Free bird!
Free bird.
Maybe
Go
more
see
songs.
places and enjoy communing with you. Hi.
Okay.
So any blips?
Also, just for a record, when I do detect magic, I sit
Mm-hmm.
and I just close my eyes, but there's a huge look of just utter concentration, like my brain is working overtime. Smoke is coming out of my ears.
Okay. You cast it and you do not detect any magic on any of these 4 items.
Not magical, but if someone wants to check to see if there's poison or anything on them, that's not my area.
I don't even feel like I need to check. I'm pretty sure that little pen has poison in it.
Yeah, but we
It's
should
true,
check
because it wouldn't have killed them.
No, because it'd be like, oh, ow.
We should check to be safe, though. And maybe it could come in candy. Maybe the poison's still good. I don't know how long poison lasts.
I don't know what kind of poison it is. I mean, if you want to tuck it away and check in with someone later down the road, cool.
Can I just sniff it?
No, don't.
Usually maybe
You
slightly
just say, listen to Torrent.
I didn't say lick it.
There's a slightly acrid, acidic smell to it.
There we go. It's
probably
poison.
got poison on it.
Whatever you do, don't sit on it.
All right.
Does anyone else do you use daggers?
I do use daggers, yes.
I will hand you the 3 daggers because I don't need them.
Okay.
I don't know if I really need more daggers, but sure.
Hey, you know,
Are they better than my daggers?
every once in a while you're forced to throw a dagger, and it might be nice to have a couple extras. And these ones look like they're in really good shape.
I will hold on to them and see if they're better than my daggers.
Okay. So you all
Have to go
settle in
to-
for the evening. Head back downstairs for breakfast and leave the town again. You've got 2 more days left. So again, for sake of expediency, anything else you'd like to do this day?
Yeah, I just gotta go to my spells.
And while you're resetting your spells, I'm gonna do my morning
Sending spell.
sending.
Yep.
Swipe right.
Swipe right.
We'll get rid of...
Good morning. Hey, we stopped an assassination attempt. Don't ask for details. It's fine. And I got a cool sword. I'm gonna find out what it does soon.
There it is.
Yeah, I hate being on the road.
All right, so I will... Sorry, go ahead.
That's
You're out of words.
I'm out of words now.
Yeah.
Okay. You get a response back. Assassination attempt. You're all safe. Being on the road sucks. I typically tend to use transportation spells.
You don't have that.
We don't have that. Why don't we have a Pandora who could just teleport us?
Are we gonna have anyone that eventually has it?
Hopefully, we'll get to see each other soon.
Wow, chicka, wow, wow.
And then I still look at it and go, once a day! And I put it back in my pocket.
I'm working on it.
I know.
Yeah, I heard back in regards to instruments that Leaf chose. Leaf is choosing bagpipes.
Oh, yes!
I told you it was gonna be loud.
Yep, I knew it was going to be loud.
Lordy.
Amazing.
Yeah, where'd I go with kazoo?
Oh no.
I mean, you
You
were
just hear like the bagpipes like kind of smashing and like squawking, like just like empty air. It's just
I put a hole in it.
like Leaf. It's going to take Leaf a while to figure out how to like inflate the bag properly and.
Oh dear.
And also now I'm just waiting patiently, not patiently, for River to identify my
I'm
new
gonna
sword.
do cast as a ritual identify.
All right.
That
So
takes 10
what
minutes.
items is it that you are identifying? So I've got
The sword,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to stealthily put it in the pouch.
Okay. So the sword, you cast it ritually. You can mark
I'm
down.
like-
You can mark down a Dragon Slayer short sword.
Ooh!
Nice.
Nice!
Noise.
And in terms of the pouch, dust of invisibility.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Dust of invisibility. Invisible.
How much of it?
It's just like a full pouch and like
Okay.
Dragon Slayer short sword, not long sword?
yeah, short sword.
No, they do less damage regularly, though.
Regular digula.
It's still a rare.
It is. I mean, it is. And if nothing else,
you got it for free.
I got it for free, and I can maybe trade it for something.
Is dust of invisibility the same thing as dust of disappearance?
It
You
just-
got it on that.
if you just mark it down as dust of invisibility. If it's not on D&D Beyond, I'll add
Okay.
dust of invisibility for you.
It's D&D. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's 1d6 plus 4 versus my longsword, which is 1d8 plus 3. So, kind of. It's only
But
like
what's it
1
do to
point.
dragons?
What's it do to dragons?
What's it do to dragons?
Okay. Dust of invisibility.
I will tell you. You gain a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with this magical weapon, and when you hit a dragon with this weapon, the dragon takes an extra 3d6 points of piercing damage.
Nice!
Wow.
For the purpose of this weapon, dragon refers to any creature with a dragon type, including dragon turtles and wyverns.
Ha-ha!
You're welcome.
Nice. Also,
High five!
yeah! Also dragon turtles. But not dragonborn.
Okay.
No.
So you spend the day, Amika, you find it very hard to sleep in the back of the cart because Leaf is busy obnoxiously practicing the bagpipes the entire day. So you're quite tired.
I'm tired and grumpy by the end of this journey
Yeah.
then.
Pretty much.
What does grumpy Mika look like?
Just kind of sits and grumbles in the corner. Like,
Alright, so you head into the next town. Is there anything that you'd like to do on this last evening of the journey?
I'm just gonna study the sending stones more.
Okay.
That stone.
I guess I'll just check on the horses and check on Apple.
Okay.
And I am going to be sharpening and cleaning my new sword to make it all.
Okay. So with the sword, it appeared to be rusty. However, it looks as though it was just like caked in dirt and like something had maybe like melted elsewhere in the shelf and it corroded something else that spilled onto the sword.
Gotcha.
So it's pretty easy to clean up. And now that you've cleaned it, it is like a gleaming, like almost white sword.
Woo! Look at how pretty it is.
That
guys.
is blinding!
Just picture like the anime when something like is shiny.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. So you load back up into the cart the next day after yet another stay in another tavern and head into the city for
Which city is this?
art. So you're heading into Sarithia.
We're heading into the capital
Oh,
for
we're
real.
actually there. I'm like,
So it takes you not quite the full day to get there. You arrive like kind of late afternoon.
okay.
And you are brought in. Let me bring up my Sarithia map, which I'm so excited about. All right. So, on your approach to Sarithia, you, in the distance before you actually get there, you see that there's a lot of fields, like just like general kind of farmland. It's kind of split by a very small river that kind of leads out into the sea. You are taken through the center of the city and you pass like the main kind of what you see is like a kind of worship area with a couple of different temples sitting around in like a square area. But in the left, on the right hand side, sorry, as you're kind of heading up towards the castle, you see that there's like a lot of scaffolding kind of reaching high in the sky off of what looks like it's a large bluff area. So like a kind of empty cliff. And it looks almost as if it's a dock area, but it's not down by the sea. Carmen, roll a history check.
To see if I know what an airship
No,
is.
no, Torin.
Yep. That was horrible.
Not the most horrible, but it's pretty horrible.
I've said it's pretty low, so it's fine.
5.
Oh fuck, I didn't say it that low.
It's horrible.
You have some inklings of what it is, but you've only ever heard of them. In your background, you've only ever heard of these. but yeah, airships.
It seems like I've heard about airships. I've never seen them come in, but I think maybe they came in to the island for trade.
So by airship, you mean it like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does that work?
I don't know entirely. I don't know, but I've heard of them though. I've never seen them come in, but I've heard.
Huh.
No.
Cool. It looks as though the dock area is just being built at the moment. So there's no kind of airship that's currently in dock because the dock is still being built. But you're led up towards the main castle area. Let me bring up what the castle looks like. I can't show you what it looks like because I don't have an illustration. But you're brought up into like a stable area, and stable hands come and they kind of help you out of your cart. Start kind of prepping the horses, giving them water and some food, and getting them unhitched so they can take them away for being stabled. And the royal party exit the carriage as well, and they head off to the right hand side into a lovely little hedged and flowered courtyard that is like a cross, and it's got like a cross walkway. It's kind of in like a white gravel, and in each of the kind of cross sections there's like a little triangular flower bed just completely filled with roses and different bushes, and leads you up towards a large stone building made out of like large rocks that have been kind of placed, and off to the right hand side from that you do see that there is some building work going on, which is like a sandstone building. Looks as though the exterior is like maybe 3/4 complete, so there's no roof on it yet, but the building itself, it is quite large. And you're taken into a main hall area which has large like a large staircase going up and around like that. It kind of splits off and goes round, and there's a room towards the right that you are taken to, and you're taken along a series of portrated corridors. That's all it's like a carpeted floor. It's carpeted in like a deep red fabric, and around a corner and a large set of double doors face you. There are some like stewards that are standing outside, as well as 2 guards that are fully bedecked in like ceremonial like armor. It's like polished to like a bright shine. And on your approach with Sir Emmett Citrus and the princess ahead of you, the doors are opened up and you are taken into the throne room.
Just a note, being as River really doesn't trust like this kind of thing in general. I will be on high perception, and I'm also looking as we're walking to see if there's any signs of Lady Ray.
Okay.
Anywhere.
No worries. Roll a perception check.
Perception. Fuck you, 7. That's a 13. Oh, 4 7s.
Yeah. You don't see any like kind of portraiture or anything like that of any image of Lady Rihanna. Going into the throne room, you do see that there's like along the roof. The only way I can describe this, I don't know if any of you are going to get this reference at all, is Trish, Layla, Erin, you guys will not get this one at all, but it's basically what's known as the Sterling Heads. I don't know if you get that one.
Ooh.
It's so in Stirling Castle years ago, there was carved into the wood in the castle in the throne room. There was the faces and the heads of previous rulers.
I have that in Italy as well.
Yeah. I think that's probably where it came from, but it goes back to like the 1500s, and they just recently restored them all like 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So you see carved along each side, but stopping maybe after like 20 feet or so, with like another like 40 feet above that's just clear is just these heads that are carved into the wood and stuff on.
Cool. Well, apparently you can do tours.
You can. And you see, as you've seen her before, at the Adar Day Festival, you see that the Queen is sitting up on her throne.
Her father's not there, correct?
No, her father's not there. She is wearing like a long-sleeved blue gown. She doesn't have like any crown or anything like that upon her head. It doesn't seem as though this dress is particularly formal. Almost looks quite casual. And she instantly stands up and goes over towards the princess. Gives her a large hug and then does the same with Sir Emmett as well. It's good to see that you have returned mostly without incident. And you have brought along my new niece. And she like picks the child up and like kind of cradles it a bit. And then you see like just running in from one of the door on the other side. You just see like let me get the ages actually. Where is this? I have to get the ages. You see that there is a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. Both female half elves that run into the room and just run up to Sir Emmett and just like start like hugging at their legs and begging to like be picked up and stuff. And you see like the rest of the royal family that you've all seen on a couple of occasions for some people, and they all just like come in and then like kind of greet. You guys are kind of left just standing awkwardly in the corner.
I was gonna say, so are we just like standing awkwardly?
Yeah.
Like rocking back and forth on my heels, like.
I'm just gonna take like a little step forward and do like a bow at the waist and say, "It's a pleasure to meet you, Your Majesty."
Do the rest of you follow suit?
No.
Leaf kind of like nudges you to try and get you to do it.
What?
And then they do pay notice once you've all like kind of bowed and stuff like that, and they kind of part a little bit, and the Queen comes up. I see that we have much to discuss about the journey here. Would you care to join us for some tea?
That would be lovely. Thank you.
Kind of like clicks fingers, and like some stewards run out and run off to out the door that the family all came through, presumably to like go and get some tea set up. But before you all make your way kind of like to the area where you'll be having tea, a large horn starts blowing off in the outside. It seems to kind of resonate throughout the entire building.
I just kind of make eye contact with Torin and reach for that sounds like trouble.
You see the Queen just quickly turn to the guards, take the children below, and all the children, including the princess, are all kind of ushered out. The tiefling babies like handed off, and they're all like kind of taken away very, very quickly out of the room. And everybody else, it kind of runs and like kind of seems to like almost prepare various things, like pouches, or they've got like swords at their side already as part of like just living in this kind of world. And you look out the window, and coming in from the sky above straight towards the castle, you do see what you now recognize as being a wyvern with a large figure sitting on top of it. And that's where we'll finish.